What's scarier than a shark? How about a 45-meter glowing monster that could swallow your boat whole? Actually, that's just one of the terrifying things that live in the deepest parts of our oceans. From immortal jellyfish to gigantic squid, here are 15 of the creepiest creatures living in the deep sea. Welcome back, everyone. Here, giant squids aren't just a mythical kraken in disguise, they really exist. They have enormous tentacles, capable of wrapping around boats and dragging them down to the seabed. And while that might sound like a scene out of a movie, they actually feed by floating upside down in the water with their mouths wide open, filtering tiny plankton. With a body length of 13 meters and eyes bigger than basketballs, it's hard to miss these guys. But it's even harder to imagine what exactly lives at the bottom of the ocean. What is the world's largest animal? How big do squid eggs get? And most importantly, why does this all matter to us humans? The Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean, is almost 11 kilometers deep and spans over 2,500 kilometers. It's named after the Mariana Islands and was discovered in 1875 by a British naval officer, Sir Francis Galton. Previously, scientists believed the ocean's greatest depth was approximately 3,000 meters, which meant when the Mariana Trench was discovered, the scientific community was shocked. Because of how difficult it is to explore such great depths, we still don't know much about what lives in the trenches. So what's down there? The first thing that will hit you as you start your descent into the Mariana Trench will be darkness. Any light won't reach you within 200 meters of the ocean's surface. Once past that point, you're entering the twilight zone. Although no light reaches this far down, some animals have adapted by creating their own. Bioluminescence is seen in the form of small lights along the undersides of fishes' bellies. They use these lights for attracting prey and mates and confusing predators. In this zone, you're also likely to come face to face with giant squid. These huge tentacled monsters are known to drag ships to the bottom of the ocean. That is why sailors were shocked when footage of this creature surfaced in 2004. For years, tales of the Kraken, a giant mythological beast, had frightened sailors. But now a giant squid seems to be a reality. As you keep descending, the temperature drops to near zero, and the pressure is intense. You now at a depth of 4,000 meters and are facing pressures 400 times greater than those at the surface. Now you're entering the midnight zone. Here you'll find the blobfish, one of the ugliest creatures on the planet, living between 2,000 and 4,000 meters deep. These fish's bodies have been compressed by immense pressures. This makes them look pretty messed up. However, don't be fooled by its looks. The blobfish is quite intelligent and has a good memory. It can recognize individuals after months of separation. Unfortunately, climate change and overfishing are destroying the habitat of this unusual fish and pushing it closer to extinction. There are many other species of fish here too. At 5,700 meters, you'll find the tripod fish, which walks on the ocean floor using its fins. The ninja lantern shark lurks in the darkness, waiting to ambush prey with its large mouth. Nothing compares to the zombie dragonfish, as its name suggests. This ferocious predator has long, sharp fangs and huge jaws. The scary part is that it eats anything that enters its path, including plastic. But what else lives in the Mariana Trench? The deepest trench, the Challenger Deep, there's only one permanent resident. A shrimp-like crustacean called the amphipod. These animals are usually found scurrying in large groups along the ocean floor. Surprisingly, they play an important role in the ecosystem by feeding on dead whales and other large animals. The Mariana Trench is home to creatures you probably wouldn't expect to see anywhere else. Take the Japanese spider crab, for example. With a leg span of 3.8 meters, this crab is one of the largest known species in the world. The Mariana snail is another amazing discovery in the area. It's covered with protective armor and can withstand extreme temperatures and pressures. But perhaps the most impressive is the Mariana worm. It lives several thousand meters deep and feeds on sulfur compounds released from volcanic vents. All of these creatures have adapted to survive in the harshest conditions imaginable, but some have managed to adapt too well. Take the mimic octopus, for example. This highly intelligent creature can change shape to resemble other animals such as lionfish, sea snakes, and even blue-ringed octopus. To date, 1,300 different species have been identified in the Mariana Trench, but experts believe that more than 5,000 remain undiscovered. Every year brings new findings, and the Mariana Trench continues to surprise scientists with its biodiversity. Because the trench is so incredibly deep, it has its own ecosystem. A typical food chain begins with phytoplankton, microscopic algae that float in the water column and converts sunlight into energy. These tiny organisms form the basis of the Mariana Trench food web, providing sustenance for zooplankton, which in turn are eaten by larger animals such as jellyfish and squid. Decomposers such as bacteria and scavengers such as hagfish break down dead organic matter, recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. The deep sea environment is very challenging, and organisms must be able to cope with extreme pressures, low temperatures, and limited food availability. Many animals in the Mariana Trench have special adaptations to help them survive. For example, the giant squid has enormous eyes that allow it to detect prey in the dim light of the twilight zone. Others, such as the blobfish, have gelatinous bodies that help them cope with the crushing pressures of the deep sea. In the Challenger Deep, the deepest part of the Mariana Trench, there's even less oxygen than in the rest of the ocean. This makes it difficult for most animals to breathe, but not for the amphipods. These small crustaceans have special adaptations that allow them to survive in low-oxygen environments. Scientists are still learning about the animals that live in the Mariana Trench, and new discoveries are made regularly. The trench is home to a wide variety of species, including fish, crustaceans, mollusks, and worms. Some of these creatures are found nowhere else in the world. It's not just the wildlife that's fascinating about the Mariana Trench. The geological features of the trench are also remarkable. It's a Challenger Deep. The deepest part of the trench is 11 kilometers deep and 2,500 kilometers long. The trench was formed by the collision of two tectonic plates, the Pacific Plate and the Philippine Sea Plate. The Mariana Islands, which lie on the top of the trench, are a volcanic arc. These islands are home to a variety of volcanoes, some of which are active. One of the most active volcanoes in the Mariana Islands is Mount Pagan. It's located on the island of Pagan and has had several major eruptions in recent years. For many years, scientists believed that the Mariana Trench was devoid of life due to the extreme conditions. However, we now know that this is not the case. Animals have adapted to survive in the harsh environment of the Mariana Trench. Despite the challenges posed by the deep sea environment, animals have found a way to thrive in the Mariana Trench. From the giant squid to the blobfish, these creatures are a testament to the adaptability of life. The Mariana Trench is a reminder of the importance of protecting our oceans. Giant squid attacks submarine Cthulhu rises from the depths, and other fears from the Mariana Trench. The deepest part of the ocean, called the Challenger Deep, reaches down some 11 kilometers, which is deeper than Mount Everest is tall. For reference, that's almost 23 Great Pyramids high. And although we've explored more of the surface of Mars than our own deep sea, we know that somewhere down there, there's an entire world. Sunlight can penetrate around 200 meters underwater. But below that, it's total darkness. Not quite the same as night, but enough for many animals to have evolved to hunt and feed in the absence of any natural lighting. To see in such dark conditions, many of the creatures found at the bottom of the ocean rely on other senses to find their prey, such as highly developed hearing or smell. The pressure in the Mariana Trench is another matter. It's well known that water pressure increases the deeper you go underwater. But at the Mariana Trench, the pressure is over 1,000 times greater than the pressure you experience at sea level. This makes breathing extremely difficult, and most normal submarines cannot withstand the pressures at these depths. It would be like being crushed by a 500-ton elephant. Because of this pressure, the temperature at the bottom of the Mariana Trench hovers just above the freezing mark. At the Challenger Deep, the lowest point in the trench, the temperature is around 1 to 4 degrees Celsius, or 30 to 39 degrees Fahrenheit. This might not seem too bad, but remember, the ocean water that's close to the surface can reach temperatures of up to 30 degrees Celsius, or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. In 1960, a Navy vessel equipped with a specially designed bath escape named the Trex reached the bottom of the Mariana Trench. The craft was essentially a steel barrel with viewing windows made from acrylic plastic. But unfortunately, during their descent, one of the windows cracked. As the pressure of the surrounding waters increased, a constant stream of seawater flowed through the crack. Even though the situation was dangerous, the crew continued with the mission. When the Trieste finally reached the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the two people inside saw nothing but barren silt all around them. They had been right at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, but they had failed to see anything particularly interesting. Still, they did manage to stay for 20 minutes and gather sediment samples before returning to the surface safely. In 2012, director James Cameron decided to take a solo trip to the bottom of the Mariana Trench in his deep-sea Challenger submersible. During his dive, he described the experience as feeling like he landed on an alien moon. It was silent, dark, and completely featureless. And when he tried to maneuver his vehicle, it took a lot of effort to move even a few feet. While the journey down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench took 8 hours, Cameron spent only 3 hours at the bottom before making the ascent back to the surface. He said afterward that the experience made him feel very insignificant, and that he realized just how much of our planet's surface remains unexplored. Cameron also said that he was alone in a void no human could survive. But Cameron wasn't the first to venture into these murky depths. Several unmanned vehicles have braved the depths of the Mariana Trench. Unfortunately, some have met unfortunate ends. For example, the Nereus unmanned vehicle suffered a catastrophic failure during its dive to the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. The unmanned vehicle was on a mission to explore the bottom of the Pacific when it suddenly started to descend rapidly to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Attempts to stop the descent were unsuccessful, and the vehicle eventually imploded. After reaching a depth of 9,900 meters, scientists believe that the extreme pressure at those depths caused the vehicle to collapse like a soda can. Another unmanned vehicle, the Victor 6000, managed to reach the bottom of the Mariana Trench, but only thanks to a lucky break. The vehicle was exploring the trench when it became entangled in a net left behind from a nearby fishing boat. If the net hadn't snagged the vehicle, it likely would have been destroyed by the immense pressure at that depth. After being rescued from the net, the Victor 6000 was able to transmit data for several months before succumbing to the harsh environment of the deep sea. So what exactly does live at the bottom of the Mariana Trench? Is there any life at all? Surprisingly, yes. In fact, there are plenty of strange creatures that make their home in the darkest depths of the Mariana Trench. One of the most fascinating creatures found in the Mariana Trench is a colony of marine organisms known as a pyrosome. The Pyrosoma combali is a colony of zooids that can grow to be over 45 meters long, which is longer than the largest blue whale. The individual zooids within the pyrosome are responsible for different tasks, such as movement, feeding, or capturing prey. Each zooid has a stinging tentacle that helps the colony capture small fish and other prey. These colonies drift through the water with the help of their tentacles and can be seen in large numbers in the open ocean. Another amazing creature found in the Mariana Trench is the Stygiomedusa giganta, also known as the giant phantom jelly. This huge jellyfish has been spotted only about 110 times. Since it was first discovered in 1899, the giant phantom jelly has a dome-shaped bell that can grow to be over 1 meter wide, and its 10 arms can extend to 10 meters. The arms are covered in stinging cells that the jellyfish uses to capture its prey. This jellyfish is a true master of disguise, capable of blending in with its surroundings and avoiding detection by predators. In the mid-1900s, a new species of squid was discovered in the Mariana Trench. The squid is now known as the colossal squid. The colossal squid lives in the Southern Ocean, where it feeds on fish and other squid. It's believed that the colossal squid is the largest invertebrate on Earth. With its massive body and powerful tentacles, the colossal squid is a formidable predator, capable of preying on fish and even whales. The colossal squid has been dubbed the Godzilla of the deep sea, and it's easy to see why. With its massive size and ferocious appetite, the colossal squid is a force to be reckoned with. The squid's eyes are huge, measuring over 30 centimeters across. This makes them bigger than basketballs and allows the squid to see even the faintest glimmer of light in the dark depths of the ocean. The colossal squid's tentacles are also impressive, each one armed with hundreds of sharp hooks that can grow up to 5 centimeters long. These hooks are used to grab onto prey and hold on tight while the squid reels it in. The colossal squid has been spotted many times, but because of its elusive nature, not much is known about its behavior or habitat. However, it is believed that the squid lives in the southernmost waters of the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, where it feeds on smaller squid and fish. At a depth of around 2,000 meters, you can find the aptly named giant isopod. The giant isopod is a crustacean that belongs to the same family as the common pill bug, or potato bug. Despite its rather mundane origins, the giant isopod has grown to enormous proportions. Reaching lengths of up to 50 centimeters and weighing over 1 kilogram, the giant isopod has a hard, protective shell that helps it survive in the crushing pressures of the deep sea. The isopod is a scavenger, feeding on dead animals that sink to the bottom of the ocean. It uses its powerful jaws to crush bones and other hard body parts, consuming the nutritious insides. Giant isopods can fast for years, surviving on stored body fat reserves. In fact, some giant isopods haven't eaten in over 5 years. The giant isopod's ability to go without food for so long is truly remarkable, and has led scientists to study it in order to learn more about the metabolic processes of deep-sea creatures. If you think the colossal squid is scary, then check out the next one, the goblin shark. This creature lives in the dark depths of the ocean, where it uses its unique hunting technique to capture prey. The goblin shark has a protrusible jaw that allows it to shoot forward and engulf its prey in a single bite. The goblin shark's long, slender body is perfectly adapted for navigating the deep ocean. The shark's skin is covered in tiny scales that help reduce drag in the water, allowing it to swim with ease through the dark depths. Alicella giganta is a species of amphipod that lives in the Haddle zone of the ocean. Haddle zone refers to the deepest parts of the ocean, which are found in trenches. These amphipods are often referred to as the guinea pig-sized beach hoppers due to their large size and hopping locomotion. Alicella giganta can grow up to 34 centimeters in length, and they have a distinctive humped back and long antennae. They typically have a brownish or greenish color. These amphipods can be found in both shallow and deep waters. However, they prefer depths of 7,000 to 8,500 meters. They have been found at depths of up to 10,900 meters. All of the known specimens have been found in the western Pacific Ocean, particularly in the Mariana Trench and the nearby Philippine Trench. They are usually found near hydrothermal vents or in areas with a lot of organic debris. The diet of Alicella giganta consists of organic matter that falls to the seafloor from the surface. This includes dead animals, plants, and other organic debris. They are opportunistic feeders and will consume whatever is available. Alicella giganta are known for their unique jumping or hopping locomotion. They use their large antennae and strong legs to propel themselves through the water. This allows them to move quickly and efficiently in their environment, helping them to forage for food and avoid predators. Overall, Alicella giganta is a fascinating species that plays an important role in the deep-sea ecosystem. Their unique adaptations allow them to thrive in some of the harshest environments on Earth. All of these gigantic deep-sea creatures pose a fearsome sight. Just imagine stumbling upon them in the dark depths of the ocean. The fact that these creatures exist shows just how mysterious and largely unknown our world is. Now watch alien squid with human face, freakishly realistic, or have a look at biggest snake ever found versus biggest shark ever found. Who would win?